Sup, I'm the cool guy. I have mastered the art of being cool, calm, and collected in all situations.
I'm the humorist, and I always live by, if you're not laughing, you're not crying, am I right?
What? Yeah. Hi. I'm the overachiever. I believe if everything in my world is done right, my world can't fall apart.
I'm the martyr, and I single-handedly save the world with my selfish acts.
I'm the control freak. I use order and power to achieve a sense of security, and I become unraveled when anyone deviates from the plan.
I'm the bully, and self-doubt drives my hostile behavior.
I will repress my emotions until one day I have a nervous breakdown.
I'm the introvert. Don't really like to be around people.
I'm the people pleaser. I'll go to every birthday party and go to desperate lengths so people like me.
The drama of my good works serves to distance myself from the very people I'm helping.
I'm the social butterfly. I am the life of the party, but my life is innately lonely. I have many acquaintances, but very little friends.
I'd rather be lonely than risk being not liked.
And I do live in a constant state of anxiety. What's up, people youth? We are coming at you from what might look like the heavenly realms today.
I'm the Archangel Gabriel.
Yeah, and I'm his angel friend.
Michelangelo.
That's right?
Yeah,
That's gotta
Sistine Chapel. Today's message is called The Mask That We Wear.
Let's get into it.
Add it up.
A lot of those characters that we just acted out, the different masks, they are real. Like, you may have known somebody who actually is the bully, or you know somebody who's the life of the party and cannot stand to not be the life of the party. And we want to talk for a second on what it looks like now in our digital age. What do masks look like? And one of the best examples that I can think of is from the show The Office. Dwight Schrute. He ends up making a character, and basically it was exactly who he was. It wasn't anything different other than that he could fly. But what do the masks look like where maybe the person isn't who they say they are? And this perfect example is a documentary called Catfish. And this main character, Nev, he reaches out to this girl and on Facebook, and it turned out she was not who she said she was. And it was actually kind of creepy, to be honest. It was a middle-aged woman that was reaching out to this guy, right? So you have the example of the documentary I just talked about, Catfish, but what do masks look like that you or I put on, right? My favorite mask that hits home for me is the humorist, but you might have been watching this and you thought, oh, I'm definitely the control freak, or I like to be the life of the party. So point number one is this: what's your mask? So we all have our tendencies to gravitate to certain masks, right? And I want to bring up, what does the Bible say about these masks that we tend to put on? The verse I want to read today is Exodus 34, verse 29. And this is the story of Moses going up on the mountain to hear from God. When Moses came down from Mount Sinai carrying the 2 tablets of the testimony, he did not know that the skin of his face glowed because he had been speaking with God. Aaron and all the Israelites saw Moses, saw his radiant face, and held back, afraid to get close to him. Now that we have that framework from Exodus, we're going to go to 2 Corinthians. With that kind of hope to excite us, nothing holds us back. Unlike Moses, we have nothing to hide. Everything is out in the open with us. He wore a veil so the children of Israel wouldn't notice the glory was fading away, and they didn't notice. They didn't notice it then, and they don't notice it now. Don't notice that there's nothing left behind that veil. You might have read that verse and thought, what does this mean, Drew? Why are we learning about Moses, a mountain, talking to God, and his face was shining bright? What can I actually apply to my life from that? That brings us to our next point. We have nothing to hide from God. 2 Corinthians 3 is going to wrap it up and show how we can have a relationship with God face to face, and we no longer need that mask. Whenever, though, they turn to face God as Moses did, God removes the veil, and there they are, face to face. They suddenly recognize that God is a living, personal presence, not a piece of chiseled stone. And when God is personally present, a living spirit, that old constricting legislation is recognized as obsolete. We're free of it, all of us. Nothing between us and God, our faces shining with the brightness of His face. The last point I want to make is find your FaceTime with God. In Jesus, we can share who we really are, and you're always valued and you can count on Him. Reading through that verse, we can ask ourselves, what are my masks and how can I take those off? Something that's so cool is when Moses spent time with God, there was actually a glow to him. And that's actually something you and I can be living out together. We can have moments with God where our life shines and others can see it. Guys, I thank you so much for listening to today's message, The Mask That We Wear. I hope that message spoke to you. We love you, and we'll see you next Friday for another message.
Add it up.